London and the sweatshops in New York were by and large teenage girls. You saw not many married women, white women, out working for wages, but an enormous number of teenage immigrant girls and the sons and the daughters of immigrants.
Child labor was extremely common in the 19th century. There was an economic logic to bringing children into the workforce, sometimes in textile mills, to work besides parents, performing whatever labor that they could to contribute any way that they could to the family economy.
The very diversity of American workers made it difficult to forge a unified response to the conditions that they faced. And with no government protection, there was little to prevent the mistreatment and exploitation of laborers.
It was no uncommon thing in these sweatshops for men to sit and bend over a sewing machine continuously from 11 to 15 hours a day in July weather. They dared not stop working, knowing that there were plenty of other men ready instantly to take their places.
Imagine a world in which there are no laws regarding health and safety on the job. Imagine a world in which there's no social security or unemployment benefits if you lose your job. Imagine a world in which there are no laws protecting the rights of labor to organize trade unions without suffering the consequences of persecution by their employers. No minimum wage laws. When wages are cut, there's nothing to fall back on.
Working conditions were abysmal and led frequently to illness or injury. Lack of ventilation and safety precautions turned garment factories and sweatshops into fire traps. Industrial accidents were common.
I commenced work in a factory where they made oil cans and tea caddies. Most every day it happens that a finger or hand was cut off, but what did it matter? They was paid off and sent home, and others would take their place.
Employers viewed their workers, in many cases, not as fellow human beings, but as an army of labor, looking at them in a very utilitarian way. They're there to do the job. If they can't do the job, get out. We'll get someone else to do it. The gap between rich and poor was certainly an economic one, with vast disparities of wealth separating the two groups, but it was also an ideological and social one, in which those at the upper end of society could not comprehend the lives of those at the bottom, much less offer them sympathy or appreciate them as fellow human beings.